Your brain treats your future self like a stranger. That's why every dollar you try to save feels like you're giving it away. You know you should build for tomorrow, but the coffee in your hand feels infinitely more real. By the end of this, the person you'll be in 20 years will feel as close as the person you are right now. You felt it, that strange internal negotiation. On one side, there's the responsible adult who knows about compound interest. On the other is the immediate visceral pull of a new pair of shoes or a spontaneous weekend trip. The present desire always seems to speak louder. It feels more urgent. You're experiencing a neurological disconnect, a glitch in the wiring of human consciousness. Neuroscientists have located the region that activates when we think about ourselves. It's called the medial prefrontal cortex. That region hums with activity when you reflect on your own hopes and identity. When researchers ask people to think about a stranger, a different network lights up. It's the brain's other people circuit. When scientists asked participants to think about their future selves, the brain activity shifted. The me right now circuit went quiet. The other people circuit lit up. Your brain, on a physical level, processes your future self with the same coolness it reserves for a random person. Saving for retirement biologically feels like putting money in a stranger's pocket. A donation. You are neurologically wired to prioritize the person you are today. But what if you could introduce these two strangers? At UCLA, a researcher named Hal Hirschfield did just that. He brought participants into his lab and had them interact with a digital avatar. For one group, the avatar was their current self. For the other group, it was an age-progressed version of what they would look like at retirement age. They saw their own future face. They stared into the eyes of their 70-year-old self. After this interaction, Hirschfield asked them to allocate a hypothetical $1,000. The group who saw their current avatar behaved as you'd expect. They spent more on immediate rewards. The group that met their future self was different. They allocated more than double the amount of money to the retirement fund. A single encounter with their future reality changed their financial decisions. That momentary connection forged a bridge across the neurological gap. For a few minutes, their future self was a real person with needs and a life that depended on the choices made in that lab. A picture is a jolt, but a jolt can fade. For this change to stick, you need more than a photograph. You need to build a relationship. How do you start a conversation with someone who doesn't exist yet? You let them write you a letter. This is a targeted neurological intervention. Find a quiet half hour. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 20 years from now. This version of you is financially stable. They are calm. From that perspective, write an email to the you that is sitting here today. Write about the feeling of peace. Describe the freedom of waking up without a knot of financial anxiety in your stomach. What does a typical Tuesday look like for them? What hobbies do they have time for because they aren't stressed about bills? Have them thank you for the small difficult choices. Thank you for the Friday night you stayed in. Be specific. Thank you for starting to invest back in your 30s. From here, I can see it was the beginning of everything. That decision brought me the peace of mind I'm feeling right now, drinking my coffee and looking out at the garden. Read that letter, then read it again next week. That person who wrote the letter is the person you're saving for. They have a voice. They have gratitude. They are you. You felt that connection. A warm motivation. But how do you turn this one-time peak into an everyday instinct? You change the way you vote. Every financial decision you make is a vote for a particular identity. Every time you tap your card for an impulse purchase, you cast a vote for your present self. Every time you move $10 into a savings account, you cast a vote for your future self, the person who wrote you that letter. For a long time, the votes for your present self have felt more rewarding because they come with an instant chemical hit, a new thing. The votes for your future self feel like a void. The letter changes the math of that vote. When you choose to save, you are actively voting for that calm, grateful person you met. You are making their existence more likely. You can picture them. That act of saving is now connected to a positive human emotion. It starts to feel like allegiance. An act of kindness to someone you are growing to care about. You're physically remodeling the circuitry that generates behavior. Each vote strengthens the neural pathway between you and your future. The disconnect begins to repair. This system of voting works, rebuilding the bridge brick by brick.